Hey everyone, this is Doug Kenny along with my coach and mentor, actor Andy McPhee, and we welcome Shannon Jones, our guest, to Relentless and Unstoppable. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey,
How you going? Thanks for having me.
yeah, cool. Where are you based, Shannon?
So I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, okay, where I'm from. Best city in the world.
Yeah, some say that. Yep.
From a few of our mates.
yeah. No, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, no worries. G'day, Doug, all the way from Arizona, and myself in Los Angeles. So, Shannon, thanks for joining us too, mate. And just a bit of a question. What's it like in Melbourne, or what's it like in Australia at the moment with all the COVID and the political stuff going on? How's it all going there?
Yeah, it's not going too bad now, actually. We did have the mantra of being the most lockdown country, most lockdown city in the world there for a while, but the restrictions have eased and sort of getting back to a bit of normality, so it's good.
Well, that's awesome, mate. That's really good. And how's the like the people, the mental state of, like the country? Is everyone settled down a bit, or are they still a little bit angry over stuff? Like, what's that situation like?
No, I think there are a lot of angry people over out here, and the mental state of people sort of does need addressing. I think it's really important that we all are mentally healthy, I suppose, and it's just it could be better, I suppose, in that
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, great. Well, here in LA, it's we're sort of pretty much back to normal. Like mask wearing is still happening, but I think in a lot of states in America, it's all finished now. I'm not sorry, that's incorrect. Some of the states they're not wearing masks, but it's slowly the mandates are dropping, so that's all good, and hope we sort of get back to some sort of regular living again.
Yeah, that's it. It's probably the same over here now. Like the masks are still mandated. Um, in shopping, you're not now. Just the retailers that are serving you need to wear masks. Masks on public transport, and we're even getting back to 100% capacity at the footy soon. So that's awesome.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, all right. Well, Doug, over to you, mate.
Yeah, so Shannon, where are you originally from?
So, born and bred. I haven't moved for 47 years, so I'm born and bred here in Melbourne, Australia. Lived here all my life, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay, and what are you doing these days?
These days, I actually work for the St Kilda Football Club in the community engagement team, delivering a awesome program to secondary and primary school age kids out in schools called Play to Your Strengths, which is a program based on the VIA Strength Survey, and it teaches these kids to actually draw off their strengths and use them to overcome challenges when they're faced with them in life.
Pretty cool. And what happened that turned your world upside down?
Yeah, so back in 2012, I was actually diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, which is a degenerative eye disease that destroyed my peripheral vision. Growing up, I had a normal childhood. I used to play footy. I played footy all my life, driving a car, working, and then in 2012, it all come crashing down. This was a new thing to me, and it was pretty scary, and it took me down a path that I wasn't really proud I took. Getting into alcohol and drugs, and I thought that was my coping mechanism. And it wasn't until my wife pushed me to go find a blind sport to get involved in, because she was sick of seeing me on the couch having my pity parties for myself. And I was on the computer and I found a new thing called Blind AFL. So I registered for one of their come and try days, and I was really, really reluctant to go along and have a try, but boy, I was glad I did, because after that first introduction of Blind AFL, it changed my life.
Wow, that's awesome, mate. And just for people watching, AFL is tell us what it stands for.
Yeah,
Shannon?
so it's Australian rules football. So yeah, it's a really, really awesome game that's unique to Australia.
Yeah, it sure is, mate.
Yeah.
People ask me over here to explain it. I'm like, just Google it. It's easier.
Yeah, I think it's too hard to explain. It's not like, yeah, I could probably explain soccer or rugby easier than I could AFL. So yeah. So
That's a mixture of all of those, but a little not. It's like rugby's very hardcore tackling, like the National Football League here in America. And I said, football is a rough game, but a lot of that hardcore tackling's been removed over the years. It's more a faster game now.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a runner's game now. Gone are the days of the big tackling, and you still get some pretty hard hits, but
so you said something really interesting then, and I think this is really important. You were looking for some sort of diversion to make you feel better, and as pretty much everyone knows, any sort of addiction, whatever it is, it only makes you feel good for a little while, because the next day you still got to get up and face it. You got to face life. So it was really interesting when you said that your wife was the one that pushed you. Now, obviously, you listened to her, but maybe at times some people won't listen to the people around them saying, "Look, you got to get out of this. Like, it sucks what's happened, but you've got to start taking charge. Otherwise, it's going to be a dead end road."
Yeah, absolutely. So it's up. I think it's up. Yeah, it's up to the individual to want to go and get the help, or go and want to get out of their funk that they're in, I suppose. I just needed that push. I think just needed that push.
Did she threaten you at all?
I'll say yeah, she did. Yeah.
Did she threaten you? Oh, I shouldn't say housewife, because that's a defunct political name. Did she threaten you with any, like, if you don't?
Yeah, pretty. Not really, sort of. Sort of. Like, yeah, she was on the cusp of leaving, so there's a threat in itself, and we got 5 beautiful kids together. Two were from a previous marriage of mine, 2 were from a previous marriage of hers, and we got one together. And it's just, there's.
Can I ask how hard that was for you to actually? Because the first step is someone said, "Get your shit together," or else, this is not serving me. It's not serving the kids. We feel for you, but we're not going to keep this going on for the rest of our lives. Something has to change, and we're here to support you. So that's great. But how hard was it for you to actually take that step and say, "Okay, I've got to do something,"
At the time, it was really, really hard. Because that's I didn't know what the future was going to bring me with my eyesight. It was scary. It was a scary time, and I thought the only way to deal with it was with the drugs and the alcohol. But then you look back at it, and I look back at it now and think, well, why was it that hard? It shouldn't have been that hard.
That's actually, Shannon, that's a really good point you brought up, and I'll hand it back to Doug after this question. So when you just said, it's when someone says something, or you're getting professional help and you've got to do it, and you go, "Oh, man, this is so hard." But then down the track, you look back and go, "But it wasn't that hard." So what's your advice to people in any circumstance where you've got to face something, when your back's up against the wall and you've got nowhere to go, and you might be in a depressed state and you need some help? What can you offer someone to say, "Look, yes, this moment is really hard, but down the track, it still might have a few challenges, but it was easier than what we think in that particular moment"?